Hello, wonderful English learners. Welcome to Easy English Tales. We are so happy you are here with us today. Today, we have a very special story for you. We are going to learn about a man named Albert Einstein. Maybe you have heard his name. Maybe you have seen his picture. He often had messy hair and a kind smile. Albert Einstein was a very, very smart man. Some people say he was one of the smartest people who ever lived. He worked in an office for some time, like many people do. But in his mind, he was thinking about big, amazing things. He thought about light and time and stars and the whole world around us. His ideas were so new, so different, that they changed everything we thought we knew about the universe. How did a man working a simple job think of such incredible things? How did his ideas change science forever? Stay with us, and let's find out the fascinating life story of Albert Einstein. As we go, we will also look at a few new English words to help you learn. Albert Einstein was born in a country called Germany in the year 1879. When Albert was a little boy, he was often quiet. He liked to look at things. He liked to think. He was not like other children who only wanted to play all the time. Albert wanted to understand how things worked. One day, when he was about 5 years old, his father showed him a compass. A compass is a small tool that always points north. Little Albert was very surprised. He turned the compass. The needle still pointed north. Why? There was nothing touching the needle. What made it move? This made Albert very, very curious. He wanted to know the answer to everything. He asked many questions. Why is the sky blue? How do birds fly? What are stars made of? He thought about these questions all day. School was sometimes a little hard for Albert. He was very smart, but he did not like the way schools taught things. In those days, many schools wanted children to just remember facts and dates. Albert did not like this. He wanted to understand why things were the way they were. He liked to think for himself. Some of his teachers did not understand him. They thought he was slow or not a good student. They were very wrong. Albert just learned in his own special way. When Albert grew up, he finished his studies at a university in a country called Switzerland. He wanted to become a teacher of science, like physics or math, but it was very difficult for him to find a job as a teacher. No one wanted to hire him at first. This made him sad and worried. For some time, he did not have much money. Finally, in 1902, he found a job. It was not a teaching job. He got a job in an office in Bern, the capital city of Switzerland. This office was called a patent office. What is a patent office? Well, when someone invents something new, like a new kind of machine or a new tool, they can ask the patent office to give them a special paper. This paper, called a patent, says, this person invented this thing first. Albert's job was to look at the papers for these new inventions. He had to read about them and understand if they were truly new and if they worked. It was not a very exciting job for a man with such a brilliant mind. But the job was steady. It gave him money to live, and very importantly, it gave him time. When his work was done, or even while he was looking at the invention papers, his mind was free to think about his own big ideas. And Albert Einstein loved to think. He thought about light. He thought about time. He thought about energy. He thought about the whole universe. The year 1905 was a very, very special year for Albert Einstein. It is often called his miracle year. He was still working at the patent office. He was only 26 years old. But in this one year, he wrote and published 4 amazing scientific papers. These papers were full of new and exciting ideas that would change science forever. One paper was about light. For a long time, scientists thought light moved like a wave in the ocean. Einstein said that light could also act like tiny little packets or particles of energy. He called these packets quanta. This idea helped to explain something called the photoelectric effect. That's a big name, but it just means how light can make electricity flow in some materials. Another paper was about very, very small things, like tiny bits of dust or pollen floating in water. If you look at them under a microscope, they seem to jump around all by themselves. Einstein used math to explain why they moved. He said they were being bumped by even tinier water molecules that we cannot see. This helped prove that atoms and molecules were real. And then there was his most famous idea from that year, the theory of special relativity. This theory was amazing. It talked about space and it talked about time. Before Einstein, most people thought space was just empty area and time just ticked by the same for everyone, everywhere. Einstein said, no, space and time are connected. They are part of one thing, like a fabric called spacetime. He also said that the speed of light is very special. It's the fastest speed anything can go in the universe. Nothing can go faster. And he said, if you travel very, very fast, close to the speed of light, time actually slows down for you compared to people who are not moving fast. This was a mind-bending idea. Part of this special relativity theory was a very famous equation. The equation is very short, E equals mc squared. You may have seen it. What does it mean? E stands for energy. M stands for mass. Mass is like how much stuff something is made of or how heavy it is. And c stands for the speed of light, which is a very, very big number. The little square means c multiplied by itself, c times c. So this tiny equation says that energy and mass are really two forms of the same thing. A very small amount of mass can be turned into a huge amount of energy, and a huge amount of energy can be turned into mass. This was a completely new idea and a very powerful one. It helped explain how the sun makes light and heat. People in the science world were shocked and amazed. How could this young man, working in a patent office, think of so many revolutionary ideas all in 1 year? But Albert Einstein was not finished thinking. He had even more big ideas. After special relativity, he worked for many more years on another big theory. This one was called the theory of general relativity. He published it in 1915. This theory was about gravity. Gravity is the force that pulls you down to Earth. It's what keeps the moon going around the Earth and the Earth going around the sun. Before Einstein, a very famous scientist named Isaac Newton had explained gravity. Newton said gravity was a force that pulled objects towards each other. Einstein had a different idea. He said that space and time, that space-time fabric we talked about, are not flat. He said that big objects with a lot of mass, like the sun or a star, actually bend or curve space-time around them. Imagine you put a heavy bowling ball on a soft trampoline. The trampoline sinks and curves where the ball is. Einstein said space-time does something like that around stars and planets. And other smaller objects, like planets moving around a star, are not being pulled by a force. They are just following the curves in space-time made by the bigger object. This was a completely new way to understand gravity and the universe. It was such a strange idea. How could scientists know if it was true? Einstein made a prediction. He said that if his theory was right, then light from distant stars should bend when it passes close to a massive object like the sun. In 1919, during a solar eclipse, when the moon blocks the sun's light, scientists took pictures of stars near the sun, and they saw it. The light from the stars was bent, just like Einstein said it would be. Now, everyone in the world knew that Albert Einstein was a true genius. In the year 1921, Albert Einstein received a very famous award called the Nobel Prize in Physics. It is one of the most important prizes in the world for people who make big discoveries. Interestingly, he got the prize for his earlier work on light, the photoelectric effect from 1905, not for his theories of relativity, which were still so new and hard for many to fully understand at the time. Einstein became world famous. His picture was in newspapers. People everywhere wanted to hear him speak. He traveled to many countries. He was known not just for his science, but also for his kind heart, his simple way of life, and his desire for peace in the world. But sad things were happening in Germany, his home country. A new leader, Adolf Hitler, and his Nazi party came to power. They were very cruel, especially to Jewish people. Albert Einstein was Jewish. It became very dangerous for him to stay in Germany. So, in 1933, Albert Einstein moved to the United States of America. He went to work at a special place for thinkers and scientists called the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey. He lived there for the rest of his life. He became an American citizen. He continued his scientific work, always trying to understand the universe more deeply. He also spoke out against war and tried to promote peace and understanding between people. Albert Einstein never lost his childhood curiosity. He always kept asking big questions. Until the end of his life, he was trying to find one single, beautiful theory that could explain all the forces in the universe. He did not quite find it, but he never stopped trying. He was known for his simple habits. He did not care much about fancy clothes or big houses. He loved to play his violin. He had a good sense of humor and liked to laugh. He once said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." He meant that thinking of new ideas, being creative, was very important. Albert Einstein died in 1955 at the age of 76. The world was very sad to lose such a great mind. But his ideas live on. Albert Einstein truly revolutionized science. Because of his work, we understand so much more about light, energy, mass, time, space, and gravity. His theories are the foundation for much of modern physics. They have led to many important technologies that we use today, like lasers, nuclear power, which also has dangerous sides he worried about, and even GPS that helps us find our way with our phones. Albert Einstein showed the world that with curiosity, imagination, and hard work, one person can change our understanding of everything. He was a patent clerk who dreamed about the stars, and he took us all on a journey to understand them better. He taught us that it's good to ask why and to never stop learning. Okay, amazing learners, that is the amazing story of Albert Einstein, a man with a truly brilliant mind who helped us see the universe in a whole new way. From a curious little boy to a world-famous scientist, his life was full of wonder and big ideas. Now, to help you understand even better and grow your English, let's take a closer look at some of the key words we heard today. Learning these words will really help you talk about big ideas and interesting people. First up, we have the word universe. Remember we said Einstein thought about the whole universe? Well, the universe means everything that exists. That's all the stars, all the planets, all of space, and everything you can imagine in it. The stars in the night sky are part of our big universe. Next, let's talk about curious. We learned that little Albert was very curious when he saw the compass. When you are curious, it means you really want to know or learn about something. You ask lots of questions. For example, the little cat was curious about the red ball. That means the cat really wanted to find out all about that ball. Another important word we used was theory. Einstein became famous for his theory of relativity. A theory is a big idea or a set of ideas that someone has to try and explain how something in the world works. It's like a very well-thought-out guess. So, when we say, scientists have a theory about why dinosaurs disappeared, it's their big, educated idea trying to explain that mystery. Then there was the word equation. We talked about Einstein's very famous equation, E equals mc squared. An equation is something special we use in math. It's a statement that uses an equals sign. That's this symbol. Equals, to show that two things or two amounts are equal or the same. A very simple equation that you probably know is 2 plus 2 equals 4. It shows that 2 plus 2 is the same as 4. We also called Albert Einstein a genius. That's a great word. A genius is a person who is super intelligent or has a very special natural talent or skill for something. They can understand and create amazing things. For example, many people say, Leonardo da Vinci was a genius in art and science because he was incredibly smart and talented in both those areas. And our last key word for today is revolutionized. We said Einstein revolutionized science. When something is revolutionized, it means it was changed completely in a very big and important way and often for the better. It's like a huge transformation. For instance, we can say, the internet revolutionized how we find information because it totally changed the way we learn things and connect with the world. So, those are some of our key words from Albert Einstein's story. Try to use them when you practice your English. What did you find most interesting about Albert Einstein's story? Was it his miracle year, his ideas about gravity, or something else? Please tell us in the comments below. Thank you for joining us at Easy English Tales. If you enjoyed this story and learned some new things, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more great stories to help you learn English. We look forward to seeing you in our next video. Take care and keep learning.